Welcome to this week's trading recap. In this video, I'll walk you through the trades I took, the patterns I spotted, and the key lessons learned along the way. Every setup is broken down with simple examples, so you can learn, improve, and grow as a trader. Let's dive right into the first trade. This setup was based on an ascending channel pattern, also known as a rising wedge. Price broke above the trend line initially, so I stayed patient and waited for a proper retracement. However, I noticed multiple rejections near the breakout zone, which signaled weakness. I decided to wait a little longer for more confirmation. Finally, a strong bearish confirmation candle appeared, and that's when I entered a short trade. After entry, the price moved beautifully in my direction, and I secured 150 pips on this trade. Key takeaways: always wait for clear confirmation before entering a trade. Be patient after breakouts. Fakeouts are common. Watching for multiple rejections can give you an edge in timing your entry. Moving on to the second trade of the week. This setup was based on a triangle pattern, but what made it even more powerful was that it was forming right near a major resistance zone. First, I marked the resistance zone on my chart and patiently waited for the pattern to form exactly the way I wanted. As expected, the triangle formed near the resistance, adding extra confirmation for a potential breakout. I then waited for the pattern to break, and it broke below the support line with a strong bearish momentum candle. I entered the trade immediately after the break and aimed for a big target of 500 pips. Along the way, I trailed my stop loss and booked partial profits to secure some gains. This trade played out beautifully, and I booked a full profit of 500 pips. Let me know in the comments. Did you catch this trade too? If yes, how many pips did you book? Key takeaways: patterns forming near major zones like resistance or support are usually more reliable. Always wait for a clear and strong breakout before entering a trade. Trailing your stop loss and booking partial profits can help you lock in gains while aiming for bigger moves. Now, let's move to the third trade of the week. This setup was based on a channel pattern. I patiently waited for the pattern to form completely and looked for a clear confirmation before entering. Finally, the channel broke below the trend line. But instead of rushing in, I stayed cautious, waiting for a retracement to avoid falling for any false breakouts. After the retracement, I entered the trade, placing my stop loss safely above the retracement candle. The trade moved strongly in my direction, and I booked a total of 170 pips from this setup. Key takeaways: always wait for both the breakout and a retest before entering. It greatly reduces false breakout risks. Placing stop loss above the retracement candle is a smart way to manage risk effectively. Patience and confirmation often lead to higher probability trades and better profits. Finally, let's break down the fourth trade of the week. This setup was again based on a triangle pattern, just like the second trade. However, this time, the triangle pattern formed near a strong support zone, giving extra importance to the setup. I waited patiently for the pattern to form and watched closely for the breakout. Initially, there was a false breakout, but I stayed patient and didn't rush in. Later, a clear breakout happened, and that's when I entered the trade, placing my stop loss above the trend line for safety. I trailed my stop loss along the way and booked partial profits at every major take profit level: TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, and TP5. This trade delivered a total of 200 pips. Key takeaways: always be patient and wait for clear breakouts. False breakouts are common near major zones. Setting your stop loss above the trend line helps protect your trade from sudden reversals. Partial profit booking and trailing stops are powerful strategies to maximize gains while managing risk. That's all for this week's trading recap. I hope you learned something new from these setups and the way I managed each trade. If anything wasn't clear, feel free to watch the video again. Don't skip and really study the patterns and entries. If you found value, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more trading insights. And if you want even more, like loyalty badges, early access to videos, and swing trade ideas, join my channel membership today and get exclusive perks. Click the join button now. See you in the next video.